We know we're live.
We're very aware. Okay.
I feel like I was about to play in a championship game, and then my game got canceled when I was a little leaguer.
Aw.
I don't even know if that's that depressing and sad.
I want to say it's my own fault. I drank too much Hope last week. Truly.
I don't even know if that. We looked.
Our offense scored 10.
We got to gather our thoughts
Our
here.
offense scored 10 points.
If it wasn't minus 15 degrees in New York City right now, I'd be a lot more angry. But I'm trying to just not catch hypothermia as I'm yelling at my team. What can we NIL money against Sharp? Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. He's gonna be here next year. You better hope that we have all of our players back. I don't know who is returning or not, but we have a list to get to through this phone, and it's gonna take a minute. I don't know who's ever gonna see this. Maybe no one of any importance at OU, but if you do, I pray one day I get to talk to somebody up there that gets to make decisions. Because the first thing we're gonna find out is whatever LSU does. I don't care if it's voodoo. I don't care if we have to get dolls made of our football players. If Nussmeier can go to the tent when he looks like a trash quarterback and come out with prime Joe Burrow after he broke his collarbone and went into the injury tent, and we can't have one receiver come back or one offensive lineman come back after an injury this season, which I'm not putting on the players. What? Explain that to me. Someone explain that to me that in a way that makes sense. At all. It doesn't. No one can sit here and say it makes sense.
Or Angelo Anthony, 2 seasons or a season and a half.
It beats any sort of explanation that is in the actual realm of this world, other than we just seem to not be able to have the either intellectual ability on the medical staff or I don't know what it is to have players come back whenever they're hurt. And I'm tired of people do it. And you're going to hear this on the post-game reactions. You're going to look on YouTube. You're going to see all the normal characters once they come up and say all this. They're going to say, we didn't know Oklahoma was like that this year. That's not Oklahoma's team. That's still not Oklahoma's team. They haven't been Oklahoma's team for the whole damn season because we can't get anybody recovered. We haven't done it the entire year. And we sit here and we talk about how, we can do. At the end of the day, we still just don't have the talent. We don't have the players to beat good teams on the road in an environment like Baton Rouge. And we can get mad at Jackson Arnold all we want. We can get mad at everyone else. We don't have our guys because they can't play because they're injured. We have 9. Zion Kearney has to have help off the field after the game. That's 9 receivers out of the 16 you have on your roster, and that includes practice squad. And you're going to tell me we should go to LSU and beat Baton Rouge? We should go to Baton Rouge at night and beat LSU? But all these people are going to get on there and tell you, oh, Oklahoma learned it was a tough year in the SEC. Oklahoma learns how tough it is to win in the SEC. You're wrong. You're just wrong. Oklahoma learned that they don't have a medical staff that can heal people, or they have the worst strength and conditioning in the history of college football because we have 12 guys out that can't play. And it's not because they're unathletic. Someone explain this to me. You can't do it. I'm sitting there with people from New York City, and they are flabbergasted. The flabbers are gasted that we can't have a single player get back from injury, yet apparently Joe Burrow comes out and reformed as Nussmeier. And we're going to get to the defense. They don't get a pass tonight. But I want to let my wife talk. I'm catching myself that caveman DNA is bubbling up, and I'm about to start getting even more angry, and I'm going to stop.
No,
T, take it away.
I don't. I get annoyed too because like the announcers, I'm sorry, Bauer Sharp. The announcers saying like, oh, the best player on the offense. Did you watch a single OU game all year? Like, I mean, he had one good half at Ole Miss, a few good catches here and there, but have you not watched the production? And then they kept saying like, talented tight end, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, what are we doing? And just us wanting to continue to put our offense through him blows my freaking mind. What was our first play of the game? Bauer Sharp. Why? And yeah, he made that catch. Great, he made a catch, and then we go to a double pass with him. That one hasn't worked all year. 2, it's like you're playing with fire. He did something productive. Let's just give him another chance. Like, it's just not. I don't understand the obsession with putting plays on him. Granted, I know we're low, but I was telling Chad on the walk over, I was like, maybe they want to keep a tight end out there for blocking. He doesn't even block consistently. I would rather almost you play Sawchuk and X before X got injured again. Again, another player injured, what I meant, not him getting injured. Sure. I'd rather almost have Sawchuk and X out there and use one of them for blocking because they've proven that they can do it. X ran a route, and I had tweeted that it was a good block by him because Jackson Arnold decided to keep the ball. He turns and blocks a man. I was like, that's just good IQ. And just, I don't know. I said in our pregame on Monday, I straight up said too, they are not afraid to return kicks. Whether it's a kickoff, whether it's a punt, it doesn't matter if it's even in the end zone. They're not afraid to return it. What do they do? They freaking return it. Like, it's things, and like, that is part of what's also disappointing. Like, offensively, I can only be so disappointed because I know where we're at with our players. But that special teams, which is still technically in my mind part of defense, that was unacceptable. 100 yards. Dude goes 100 yards. Granted, no, there's no granted. How were we not ready? How were we not kicking out of the end zone? I wanted to give the benefit of the doubt for, like, it was the wind. Their kicker kicked it out every single time. So I looked at Chad, I was like, can't be the wind, can't be the weather, because their kicker did it. You can't do that. You can't.
Here's one thing we're going to talk about. If I'm Joe Castiglione and I have a coordinator, a head coach, anyone on my squad, it would be against my religion to call a timeout in the third quarter. I don't care if it gets you a 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6. In a game when you're on the road and it's that close, it should be against every fiber of your being. And we call a timeout after a TV timeout in which we just talked about the play. In which we just talked about what we're going to do. We get out there and apparently we're so dumb we don't know how to just do exactly what we talked about doing. I'm sick and tired of seeing that every year at Oklahoma. Either it's Lincoln Riley, under Bob Stoops late in his career, or now under Brent Venables, whoever it is, they cannot do simple things, and it's so freaking frustrating. And then you turn on the Texas game, they're throwing lob passes deep, they're having a guy catch it, tiptoeing like he's, I don't even know, and making touchdown catches. They're doing everything right. They just had a block punt or whatever, I don't care. Everything goes right for them. For Oklahoma, it's just always everything that can go wrong goes wrong, every single year. We, for whatever reason, come out of punt, we call timeouts on punt formations like idiots. We sit there and we come out of TV timeouts to timeouts whenever we're already talking about what we're about to do. We apparently forget the play between the timeout and the time we run on the field, which is its own form of just idiotic miracle, and we just can't seem to not get out of our own way. It should be illegal for you to call a timeout in the third quarter. I don't care the situation. I don't care if you're 1st or 3rd and goal from the 1 yard line. It should be illegal because I have never in my life seen it work out in a way that actually benefits you. Either we call the timeout and we forget what we just talked about during the timeout, so we run out in the wrong formation, have to call it again, or we go to TV timeout, we forget the whole TV timeout because we're too busy, thinking about what we're going to tweet or do our TikTok after the game after you just get your ass kicked for 4 quarters, and you're just going to sit there and just talk. I literally don't know. I literally don't know. And here's the thing, this soft tissue stuff, I don't think it's the players. I think the players want to play.
I think Deion proved that.
I think she's 100% right. Deion, if it was a sissy thing, Deion Burks wouldn't have come in and taken a concussion against Missouri when you're just playing for a bowl game for literally nothing. Farouk wouldn't have played. I don't think it's a player thing. I think for whatever reason, we just don't have the ability to have players recover. We just don't. And we're the only team in college football that can't. Now, the one thing that is the only issue with me saying that is apparently it only happens on one side of the ball. Someone explain that to me. How is all your defensive players, for the most part, okay, except for legitimate ankle dislocations? Like what happened with Dolby, or shoulder dislocations with what Gentry's dealt with, which would take any player out. I'm not saying that that's something you should be coming back next week from, unless I guess if you're Grant Nussmeier and you stand Brad for collarbone, your injury your collarbone, and you can come back the next play and you're 10 times better. What was it? The Tua factory reset on the hit concussion thing joke. Apparently his arm got fixed like Rookie of the Year in baseball, the movie, and he can just throw lasers now. I'm just so sick of seeing it happen to OU every single year, and every single year I'm sitting here just. And what's so annoying, and I think what's most gaslighting about this whole thing, is just you get mad, but at the end of the day, when you don't have your Jimmies and Joes, your X's and O's don't matter. When we just don't have them because they're on the sideline in their whatever civvies they wear, not able to do anything. And until we get that, we don't know what we need to fix.
Also, Brennan Thompson and Barnes didn't play, so why were they not on the injury report, or why were they taken off? Like, I got my hopes up, hoping I would see a receiver who has proven he could at least catch it and has speed. And then Javonte, who was a senior leader and was playing well, and then didn't even see them.
I don't know why this Bama fan's laughing. Y'all came to Norman and gave you red ass for 4 straight quarters. You came and kicked a field goal. Go somewhere. Also, did you see? Yeah, it is. I really don't. I will not. Joe John Finley literally has for whatever reason baked his whole entire coaching life on getting Bowers Sharp the ball. Because he's apparently open. You know what? He's apparently open, and I was telling T this on the walk back. The same reason your terrible three-point shooters are open. They know he can't make plays, or he'll try to do too much for what he's capable of doing, and he'll do the 360 turnaround throw. That is, if I saw a flag football kid do that, I would tell him, son, pick up another sport that isn't in your future. I don't care if he's 6'3", running a 4.4 at that time in his life. Know what you can do and what you can't. My goodness, there are basic things you should be able to do as a Division I football player that even the guys that are out there that have played all year simply cannot do. And it is inexcusable things. It's not athletic things. If you're just out-athleted, you're playing against a better athlete, that happens. We're doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing after day 2 of spring ball. Missing blocking assignments and basic stuff. And I know a lot of people out there, you didn't play college. If you played high school football or even middle school, some of the stuff we do, you shouldn't be doing. Missing basic blocking assignments, not being able to tackle at that point of contact. Kobe McKenzie didn't tackle well tonight. Missed a lot of open tackles. Eli Bowen, true freshman, didn't have his best game. Had good coverage on one, got burnt on another. Yeah, he struggled. That's going to happen as a true freshman sometimes.
Defensively, I feel like it's the worst game of the year for
It's the worst game our defense has played all year.
For sure.
But we couldn't get any pressure on them. Part of that is because I don't know. Yeah, Will Compton, Will Campbell. Game. No wonder you're the number 1 overall pick or number 2 tackle. They let you hold more than T ever held me in our mayor. It is unbelievable what they can do on all. It's the dude sitting there doing this to R. Mason Thomas and Aaron. What did Jordan Rogers apparently left his brain on The Bachelor, wherever that show ended. He's sitting there. Will Campbell's ability to block R. Mason Thomas's play is unbelievable. He's getting strangled across the neck, and everyone. And he's just it is unbelievable. It's why I can never be a ref. I swear when I tell you Oklahoma will get every call. Oh, if they scored a touchdown, I'm calling holding on someone who had nothing to do with the play. Because that literally will dictate outcome.
Right. Granted, and it's like defense should have done better, 100%. But there are many times on third downs we're getting that pressure, and R. Mason Thomas especially was getting that pressure, getting the quarterback, and all you're just seeing is him getting held. And it's just so flippin' frustrating because, yeah, if you let a defense or an offensive line hold consistently, and when our strength is getting that pass rush or getting the any type of rush at the line, and it gets taken away because of penalties, like, yeah, it's annoying, but regardless, like, don't give up big chunk plays. And I don't know.
Look, and I don't want to bash on like one player like Bauer and all. He's doing the best. I'm sure he wants to compete. He's doing the best again. I'm not saying that.
It's just not. He's not the playmaker they're trying to make him out to be.
I'll say this, man. Like at some point, and I hate to bring the money thing up, but yeah, I know they're kids and they're just players on it. But if you're gonna want hundreds of thousands a year or tens of thousands a year, however much you're getting, you got to face the criticism. You're a grown up. By the way, this is another thing. I'm going to make a video on NIL. It's going to eventually ruin the game because the one thing that makes college football enjoyable and made it popular is the fact that kids weren't playing for money. They were playing for their team and for the love of the game and to make themselves better as a person. That's going to be taken away. The one thing that made college football what it was, made it different than the NFL, is going to ruin college football because the people are, it's all about the money. They're going to get mad whenever people start getting their money taken and have to do repayments because they don't show up.
Or other sports disappear.
Or other sports. When OU's down to 4 sports, all these NIL people that love NIL and think it's the greatest thing ever are going to be sitting there, well, you didn't have to take away sports. Yeah, you did. Because you don't understand the difference between revenue and profit. OU football does not make $100 million in profit. They make a few million a year in revenue, in profit. They make 100, 150, 160 million in revenue, but they pay 155 million a year to pay for every other sport on campus. Rowing, gone. Volleyball probably going to be gone. Baseball eventually will be gone. Men's basketball will stay. Women's softball will probably stay. Other than that,
for
probably
OU,
going to lose every.
Maybe not other schools.
You're going to lose every other sport to pay for football. And by the way, that might not be enough to get it done, because you want to start talking about what it's going to become is the New York Yankees with Texas and Texas A&M. And here's the difference: we don't have enough. You can't just go get guys overseas like they do in baseball. And so I'm telling you, it is going to get bad at Oklahoma by the same people and the same people that are sitting there talking about NIL is the greatest thing that ever happened to college football will be talking about how bad it is because we can't keep up. Oklahoma can't afford to compete money dollar for dollar with the Texas teams or the other teams or Ohio State or Michigan or those. We can't afford it, and
most
it ain't going to get much
better. To be totally fair.
So it is astronomically inexcusable the kind of stuff we have going on right now. And I'm trying to contain myself because it's just. By the way, this is me trying to be contained. Imagine me whenever I'm not on camera and we're just with our family.
My biggest thing is I used to try to be very these are kids, they're playing for free, quote unquote. They're not. You're getting an education, which is a great thing. So not to be as critical. Mostly once I started getting paid, I think there's another level of criticism that you can have there because you are a professional in many ways. And if we can talk about professionals, and if they played well or not, then that's fine. I don't think you should be sending death threats or, talking about their mamas, stuff like that. But you can say, he is not a good player. He is not producing. He had a bad play. That's okay to do. And if that makes you mad, then I'm sorry. We try to be as fair as possible, and on all honesty, maybe because we were athletes, like we try to have fair criticism. I'm not gonna say that Jacob Jordan needs to be, I don't know, freaking Jermaine Gresham or anything like that. But like,
he might be the best OC. Is he the best OC with 8 of his starters out? You could have Lincoln Riley back. You could have Sark right now, who I think is the best play caller in college football currently. He ain't doing nothing without 8 of his guys playing. That's what, it's just like we go from A to C and skip B. Our number one issue as a program, and if anyone says this, they are not telling you the truth. Bar none, there is no debate, there is not a discussion to be had on this. Our number one issue is why we cannot get guys rehabbed on offense, for whatever reason that is. And if you listen to any post-game reaction, you listen to anyone on the radio, anybody that is associated with OU football, and they don't start with that, they aren't telling you the truth. They're wanting to give you reasons and want to just create content. Until we can fix what is going on in our medical staff, we won't have any chance at all to win an SEC championship. The weakest this league has been, or the most parity it's had the entire season, in my entire life, was this year. And because we can't get 9 guys back on offense, again, I'm not saying it's the players. I think the players want to play. Deion Burks, Jalil Farouk, Barnes, those guys trying to get back. Sawchuck coming back after 4 years. When they're not playing for playoff, they're playing just for the sake of playing. Sorry, I keep blocking T's face. I gotta quit talking to my hands.
I'm almost more afraid just gonna pop back.
That should show you they want to play for more than just, they're not just thinking about the future. They're wanting to play. They're competitors. That's why you get to the level at OU you get to. Until we get our staff fixed, medical staff fixed, which I better see, if these insiders or these guys that quote report on the team have any journalistic integrity at all, they will go to town on our medical staff. I want leaks of medical records. I want Watergate to look like it was nothing but a wet noodle. It better look like it was just basic stuff. I want everything. Snowden better be jealous of what we're about to do to this team. I want it all, and it better come out. It's just.
Sorry, I just want to get off the injury things because we're gonna beat that into a
hold. You're right.
You can have your own opinion of it, whatever. Sure, but we know when we listen to stuff, when we hear people say, "Oh yeah, Oklahoma's just finding out what the SEC is about." It's so frustrating because we started off with, Oklahoma's having a tough season. It's a tough league to play in, but also here's what they're fighting through. And I think Dusty Dvorak has been the only announcer that's even mentioned the total collapse we've had offensively at injuries. But I want to get back to at the end when it's do or die with that drive, but where we had a double pass. It was beautiful. It was a wonderful drive. You're getting chunk after chunk after chunk. Simplicity, execution, short routes, short runs. And what do? We try to outsmart ourselves and do a double pass that hasn't worked all flippin' year. With the exception, it did work when Brennan Thompson threw it, and guess who dropped it? Same guy who dropped it.
It worked at Missouri when Tatum threw it to Jackson Arnold for a touchdown. That's the last time
Okay, so when somebody without the last name Sharp was involved in the play, it worked. And sorry, again, Sharp, it's fair criticism, and any fan can say so. Great kid. I hope he has a wonderful future. I'm not wishing any harm on him. It's just the fact is the fact that it has not worked. We went away from what was working. What did we do with Alabama that was so good? We kept with what was working. We didn't try to outsmart ourselves. So why? Why did we do that? And what you needed there was points. Even if you got a field goal, that's some momentum in your way. And we do dumb things. And again, I know a lot of people want to say, I'm a female. I didn't play the sport. I played in 4th grade flag football, okay? And I was the best player. Not that
there you go. Yeah.
And I've watched this game my whole life. So it should be more of an insult to some of these things I'm seeing as someone who didn't play the game. That should make it just more obvious, okay? It just blows my mind. And I just...
It's what's crazy. You look at the stats, and it's 29 minutes to 30 minutes in time of possession, so basically even. 17 first downs to 18 first downs for LSU, basically even. OU was 4-12 on third downs. They were 6 of 15. I mean, neither one of those are great. The total yards are 277 to 395, and it's just rushing, we had 167, they had 110. We held them to 3.8 yards a rush. I mean, that's just, and your offense gives you 10 points. 10 points. And it's, I don't understand how you see what you did well against a team with a better defense, a much better interior defensive line. Which, maybe I'm stupid. You know what? Maybe I'm stupid for thinking that people will just do what has worked in life instead of just trying to be geniuses and reinvent the game.
Yes, he can.
Yeah, and hopefully he comes back and he's an All-American. It's just, I don't know.
I want another tight end at All-American.
It's not like that one play, as bad as it was, isn't the reason you got beat 4 to 17.
And it's not at all. It's just we want, and I don't know what he does in practice. Again, we're not insiders. We're not there. I don't know what it is that he's doing in practice, but in my mind, no matter how good you look in practice, if you get into the game and you're not executing or you're consistently causing negative things to happen, I'm sorry, you can't put that product out there. Try something else. And when another product like Caden Helms gets a catch, gets a touchdown, or Gabe Iker goes off on just complimentary of him getting a block. No.
Yeah, I don't.
To my knowledge, Mama, I don't think he's injured again. But why aren't we seeing that? He showed abilities on the field. Why don't you reward that? It blows my mind. That's the reason why Jacob Jordan has continued to get snaps. Granted, because of wide
receiver. Jacob, I think.
No, you say it backwards.
Jacob, I do say it backwards. See, and I just corrected it. It was backwards. Sorry. JJ. I'm gonna say JJ.
JJ. That's why he got on the field and became a gamer. He started showing, I can get open, I can find the sticks, I can make things happen. So they continue to play him. Same thing with X. He showed, I can run the ball, I can be powerful, I'm not a turnover machine. So how come at these other positions we'll play people who go into the game and play positions and make things happen? We can continue playing them, but we don't do it with tight end. That does not make sense to me. And I truly don't understand that. If people show you what they are, believe them. If people show you what they are and what they're capable of, he's putting the charge on. He didn't just leave the room.
I want to.
If people show you what you are, believe them. And sometimes people just don't have the stuff in the game. And I want them to have the stuff. I think we all do. But I don't know. I was upset. I mean, once they scored 24 points, I looked at Chad. I was like, there's just...
Well, and
unless we get another defensive score, I don't see our offense scoring more than that to win. Well, and then especially once they got to 31, I'm like, I go
to our schedule because I'm like, I don't think we've scored more than 24 points. We scored 27 is the most we scored against Auburn because of the Kip 6. So I'm like, well, this game, if they score any more, we're at least the most we can do probably is tie. And then you see just. Just an absolute, just a
Todd. That is not nice.
There's a.
We will not show that comment, but unhinged.
I cannot. It's just shocking to me how there are just people.
Yes.
How there are. What is it?
Practice one thing, but yes.
Yeah, look, we could have Jermaine Gresham tonight. It's not gonna. We wouldn't have won that game. You know why? Because of this comment right here. Worst game they've had all year.
Oh.
Worst game they've had all year. I didn't think you'd do worse than Tennessee or Texas. Worst game they've had all year. Here's on top of it is this.
Ole Miss was not great.
On top of it, yeah, that was the second half. This was the entire game besides one drive.
Sure.
And this was still worse than Ole Miss. And Gabe played in the NFL. I want him to, and he'll be honest about the offensive line. If he in any way, shape, or form tries to act like they were good, I mean, he'll obviously be right. He's forgotten more offensive line than I will ever know. But my gosh, what I needed great explanation of what happened. Because and people get mad at Jackson saying just you got to throw it. I see Story and them comment down there. I don't know if they haven't played but I know you just want them to throw it up there, guys, but if there's 4 people on one receiver and he's out there running, he's not just going to throw it up to be an idiot. And I know for the people sitting at home that have never done it before, just throw it up. You can't. I'm not. You're just human nature is not going to let you do that. He's trained his entire life to not do that kind of crap, and you're wanting just to pull it in a random ass. It's not going to happen. So all of this stuff that goes on, I just don't like. Some of this, I think it has exacerbated the. I don't know if it's the uninformed people that report on the team that just really haven't ever done it, that just see things and read it and then try to just put it into a word form in a way that just they want to explain like what you got to do here and there. But there's some things that just humanly aren't possible. When you were trying to throw a pass for more than 10 yards, for example, those take about, I don't know, 0.8 to a second and a half to set up, depending on the route combination. When you were saying, and you have to literally run out of the pocket like he was tonight, because we don't have an offensive line that can block for more than 2 seconds, you have nothing that can be set up. On top of that, you don't have the skill guys right now to do that anyways because they're too small and they can't get off blocks, except for one guy who they know, J.J. Hester, that got deep on one. They double him over the top the whole entire rest of the game, and you can't get him deep anymore.
Which also, on par with his season with his catches, bobbles it. Caught it, but almost every catch he's made, he's bobbled it. So...
What's up, Sammy? Certainly not our offensive scoring average. That's 100% not what's up. I don't know. It's just, man, I'm so...
Yep, 3 things can happen when you throw a football. Exactly.
Yep, exactly. And I know, and again, it's just one of these things where it's hard to just, I don't know. It's just hard for me to sit here and on one hand, my mind goes back to, and my dad can tell you this more better than anybody. You don't have the guys. It doesn't matter who you have as coach. It doesn't matter who you have as your schemer. What would you see? Oh, apparently every other team can scheme guys open in the SEC. Hey, buddy, answer this to me. What other team's missing 9 of their starters on an average day? Name one other team. None. Zero.
On just offense.
On just offense, yeah. Now they'll be like, well, we're missing 9. Yeah, you're missing 4 on offense, 4 on... Wish we were doing that. Would be nice. We got to miss 8 on offense alone. And again, Jake Taylor, Jacob Sexton, Hatchett didn't even get a play this year. We had him starting in game 1 with a torn bicep. Because our recovery staff is so great that we can't get out of a spring training or fall camp. Or spring training like it's baseball. Spring camp for fall camp without having half of them injured. It is inexcusable. There is no reason. And again, these inside group, these reporters, these beat writers, Trammell, I don't know who it is. They better be breaking into facilities at night. They better be getting. I need stuff that make. See, I almost got political. That would not be good. I need stuff that would make people think that Snowden and these guys, that would make WikiLeaks jealous. I need information.
Yes. So again, I played basketball. So my senior year, I have one of the best coaches, I swear, in the state. Amazing. Mm-hmm. Good mind for the game. My senior year, he always gave us an A plan, a B plan, a C plan. We never needed plans B and C because we executed plan A to a T. We always got it right. And we ended up not losing a game my senior year. We win state. Cool. Guess what? When we drop off, we graduated basically our whole team. I'm talking to my coach for the next few years, and he's like, T, it's just no matter what I do, I have an A plan, a B plan, a C plan. They can't do any of it right. It doesn't matter what I tell them to do. It's like I can give them the most basic of things, and they don't execute it. And he's like, and it's frustrating. And that's just kind of where you're at. If you don't have the talent, it's one thing to have talent. You also have to have the IQ for the game. And if you don't have one or the other, or if you definitely don't have both, it's not going to go well. I don't know if you're saying who.
Like who's the coach?
Oh, who's my coach? Toby Todd.
From Sulphur. Amazing guy, amazing coach, but yeah, it's true too.
It's just, if you just don't have the players for it, you can tell them till you're blue in the face. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
And I think the reason why I'm so heavy on this point is because you'll have a lot of people try to sell you on whoever the next OC is that they're going to be the savior. Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter who they bring with them. It doesn't matter what their scheme is, how brilliant they are. They can have the greatest offensive mind the game has ever known. You don't have dudes that can compete right now because of whatever their age or their just physical ability isn't there yet because they're not developed, because they're true freshmen.
When you're pulling people from
and
scout teams.
I think some people troll me because I had a guy comment and I'm not going to say who it is, message me and go, well, I see Ryan Williams doing well. I'm like, I didn't respond because I'm like, you obviously don't mean that because Ryan Williams is one of, I feel bad even using the breath that God gave me on this planet to make this point.
He's a 1 in a million player.
Billion. Million. It's such an incomparable point that it's just hard for me. Yeah. You know who our true freshman used to be that we would play? The one true freshman we would play on offense? CeeDee Lamb, Ryan Broyles. That level of player used to get snaps as a true freshman. We weren't starting them as a true freshman. Remember that. See, people see this true freshman stuff and they think, well, play the true freshman. No, they're not. You know why you don't also play true freshmen? They get people hurt because they don't know schemes and they get their asses ran over. They get people injured. And so I know we all just want to just blow up everything and just say, what, you can't always do that.
Well, even beyond that, Nick Anderson talked about when he first came to campus, he just didn't even understand defenses. He didn't understand parts of the game that are needed at this level, because in high school you can out-athlete people. But when everybody at this level now plays, obviously at the high level, at a D1 level, you can't out-athlete. You have to be a good athlete, have that IQ, understand, oh, the defense is set up in this, so this is what I'm going to need to do. The defense is set up in this is where I actually going to need to block. Those are the things that you need to know. On top of, you need to get bigger, you need to get stronger, you need to build some confidence. Even, I mean, Texas football, amazing atmosphere, but unless you're playing really in Texas football, you never even played in these type of atmospheres. And again, I'm sure other states might have that, but we all know the equivalent of Texas high school footballs. So playing true freshman is just not going to happen. Xavier Robinson said himself, he was mad when he got pulled from scout team because he didn't feel like he was ready, but he had no choice. Clearly, he's made the most of his opportunity, got hurt tonight, so yeah, that sucks.
Well, thank goodness this is the last game, because if this was the first game, he would not have played again until the last. But, you know, it's...
Right, but...
I'm just so... And dude, I'm mad because it's just a disservice to our players, man. Like, they should be able to come back from being hurt. I'm sorry, did I interrupt you? I didn't mean to...
Yeah, you did. It's fine. I didn't interrupt all your rants.
Sorry.
But yes, no, exactly. But Xavier Robinson was mad because he wanted to continue building his body. He wanted to continue to get stronger and better and to understand the offense more. And, like, honestly, in an age of NIL and just being a competitor, you want to get on the field and play. So for him, as an athlete, to say, I want to get better, I want to build myself better, I mean, that is a man decision right there, to say that's what he wanted. And he was actually happy, quote unquote, on scout team and didn't want to get pulled. But man, thank you, Mr. Xavier, for what you gave us these past few games, because you've been a star and you're going to be a star. Hope whatever injury you have is not serious, because I don't trust.
See, this is, and I don't know the vol-in or whatever. I don't know what. At a certain point, yeah, you're correct. It is not in any way, shape, or form the job of them to get 6 true freshmen ready to play. You know why Michigan was good last year? Because they had, 19 seniors starting, 19 upperclassmen starting. They had 18 guys go to the NFL, 11 guys drafted. You know why Texas is good this year? Apparently, they still haven't played a team that's worth anything. They are right now. I haven't checked the score. I don't know if they're... But it's because they have all upperclassmen. They have seniors that have played 182 snaps combined together. That same offensive line... I just want to say this slowly, 182 snaps. I don't think our offensive line has played 182 seconds of the same offensive line together. Being hyperbolic, yes, I know that they have. It's a joke. I'm just saying, there are so many different things that go into getting players quote-unquote ready. What does that even mean?
Hey, Bolin, how many true freshmen are y'all playing? I'm not trolling. I truly want to know, because it's one thing to have one true freshman step up, like Xavier Robin has, and another to literally have your fourth team guys at every position, but with the exception of Bauer Sharp at tight end, having to go up. Nobody has that much depth. It just nobody. That's just where you're at. Like, we have good players. I mean, it's just...
They may be great. Look, CeeDee Lamb was not a number 1 Division I all-time receiver his true freshman year. He wasn't. You can argue me all you want. You can think he was. He wasn't. Ryan Broyles was not a number 1 best receiver on the team his true freshman year. People will be like, well, look what he did as an offensive player. You know why he did that? Because he wasn't the focus of them.
Hey, you're not physically prepared.
You're right. You
can understand your assignment. But if you ain't physically prepared, you're getting your butt ran over.
And by the way, this is just, it's a logical foul. You're just saying they should be perfect. Yeah, sure, they should. Yeah, they should be perfectly prepared. You're right. Every coach should have their players perfectly prepared. You should never, if you know what, if the Vols or whoever it is,
if they're playing all these true freshmen,
look, no excuses. Hey, if you get called for holding in a big time moment, hey, buddy, shouldn't have held. You just got to be prepared. You got to have your linemen ready to play. You got to be prepared, Vol. I love that you set yourself in that corner and talk yourself into it. It's beautiful when people don't understand their own arguments they're making. Next comment. It's just so freaking frustrating.
He's actually a really good Tennessee fan.
I know, and you're probably a great dude. And this is why I hate it. OU can make me hate them more than anything, because you're probably a great guy, and I'm getting so angry just thinking about having to defend this team right now, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
I just any good OC in his current team will be the current team in postseason play. Yeah. And here's the thing: any good OC with his current team in postseason play will have all of his guys. But again, this is what's so frustrating about talking about this team, because it probably begins and ends. All the analysis begins and ends with that. We just don't have them. And you're going to have people have these big brain takes that say, no, really what it is if you look at our efficiency on third down, you know why you're not good enough? You don't have your guys. You know that?
Yep.
If John Jones is fighting somebody and I say, hey, John, I'm going to tie one of your legs to your arm and you got to keep him behind your back. And I sit there and say, well, geez, John just didn't get in the takedown tonight. Why can't he elbow anybody?
Jake Paul just defeated Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Golly. We look
It's
like
essentially
Mike Tyson
that. Y'all are saying, we are Mike Tyson.
Golly, dude.
Yeah, that's kind of what people, to me, are equating us to. Like, yes, no, Stan, if you're just now joining us, we have talked about that. It's no longer just yes, why, where is the medical staff? Where?
Stan.
Where are they?
If you know anything about digging up, hacking into systems, anything you can do, I will use everything in my limited legal knowledge I've learned too much to get you out of any crime you can commit. I need to know what is going on with our medical staff. I want names. I almost want Social Security numbers. I want every single bit of information we can get on these people.
You're coming off over-threatening.
It's a joke. It's a joke. Austin B gets it. There is just no excuse. It is almost negligent to say you graduated medical school, and I hope not at Oklahoma, and to not be able to get anybody healthy.
I would 100% say it's negligent.
On what? And again, it's like they can just say, "Well, Chad, look at the defense," and I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? I don't have a reason for why they're all healthy and why our offensive players are."
But not Gentry.
Yeah,
but he was hurt. Again, I don't know how long some of these injuries take, but he was hurt before the season. Did Gentry play a snap this season?
No, he didn't.
So,
he didn't.
Where are we on that?
And you know it's got to frustrate him, too. Like, every week, he just...
Gentry's so freaking good, dude.
And I got to sit here, and I got people from my Florida fans top messaging me. That's the thing. It's just, I do everything I can to just support the team, like we all do as OU fans. And it's just... it's just like getting waterboarded by your own team. Just whatever can go wrong continues to just suffocate you.
And that's the problem.
And it's just...
This team is already, offensively, not very good. Because how good are you going to be, again, with the injuries? But you have to play perfect. And that is, with the exception of last weekend. Thank you, yes. Half a roster out by week 3. Shoot, we had half a roster out by week 1. Then more than half.
Saying that. Yeah.
Then more than half after that. And again, I'm not expecting a Tennessee fan or a Florida fan or an Auburn fan. I'm not expecting anybody else in the SEC to truly know the... Look, we've had a great time. But I was going to say, look, I don't expect any other team to truly understand the amount of injuries we are going through. What bothers me is when you tell other teams, when they're trying to troll Oklahoma, we don't have anybody on offense. And it's not even like... They're like, oh, well, you're backup. We're not on our second string. We're on our 4th strings, and nobody's going to be good when your whole team is playing 4th string. Your offensive line hasn't played together essentially all year till the very end. Like, what I would expect, and as any unbiased fan that you just don't want to troll would be like, oh, I didn't realize y'all were going through that. That really sucks. No, it's, well, y'all should have more depth. Your team doesn't have that much depth. No team has that much depth. The freaking NFL teams don't have that much depth. It's just the pure audacity, honestly, but it's fine.
What is it? Harry, I don't even know what you mean. What do you mean? Only 2? 2 of what?
2 today. Only 2.
Y'all need to get out of NYC. Here's what TOTC. Here's what I hate about myself is I'm in there at that watch party, and it was actually pretty awesome. It was sick.
Yes,
it was great.
It was a lot. It was a good time. They put on good stuff.
I see OU playing like they are, and I hear people having general good times in their life behind me, and
we're incapable.
In literal furious anger, the types of which the ninth circle of Dante's Inferno hasn't felt, rises up from the soles of my shoes into my whole entire body, and I can't understand how people can have a thought other than want to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge watching our team play. And I hear people laughing, making jokes, talking about what song are the dueling pianos going to play. I hope they don't play. I want this whole...
we want to smash the pianos.
I want the rapture to come. I don't want to see us... I don't want another snap played. I'm just I don't understand how people can have a smile or any good thought in their brain while OU is putting a football product like that on the field. And I know that's me.
That's us. That's our
That's
issue.
a sickening thought by me. That's a disease I have. I get that. I'm going to work on that.
We've had a great trip, and we're both letting each other it's ruining our trip. Which is so dumb.
It's dumb.
It's so dumb, because really... We would, before, you know what? It's OU's fault for putting the hopium in my body after last weekend. Because prior to last weekend, I'd been like, well, we're losing the last 2, period. And then I drank I drank the hopium. Man.
Listen, Goiba, I disagree on this. I think Venables is great. He's been great. It's on the defensive side. We had a bad game tonight for sure. There's no doubt about it. I don't think that's a reason to write home about him. We're still, if you look at any metric, and by the way, it's hard for me again to say at all what this defense would be like if they had any sort of offensive consistent production.
That could be a threat.
I mean, you look at what Georgia had to deal with Georgia Tech. You see what not having any offensive production at all gives you until late in the game. You give them short fields. You give them. It happens to everybody, and I'm just like, I just. Thank you, Stan.
Thanks, Stan.
And I hope, obviously, I'm not like.
Here's the thing: we actually enjoy these post games because we vent a little bit and we feel a little bit better in the end.
Some of this stuff's just inexcusable. Scott Anderson, who was director of med, retired last year after 30 years. Go to Jamise's comment.
Hold on.
Retired after last year after 30. Did we hire anyone else? Did we just say, hey, whoever's in med school, come and take a guess? We'll let you have your, whatever your final is for that semester. Pick a player. See what you do with them. Did we put anyone else in there? Has any idea what they're doing?
Did Mr. Anderson make any suggestions of who should lead?
Did he stay in the Matrix? That's a Matrix joke. I know some of y'all got that, Mr. Anderson joke. But it's just like a...
Also, we want to preface to, Chad was totally kidding with any type of illegal activity. Do not do anything illegal.
No one would ever think that.
I know, but it's on video.
Unless you can find out good information, then, consider it. But just don't involve us.
I hope you put up the $44 million for it.
I just don't know how we can have this opinion. I really don't. I'm not saying sure, opinions are opinions, but I just don't know. I just don't know how you could have it. There's just no. I don't think any logical reasoning behind it.
You lose Venables, you for sure lose half of your roster again because they are diehard for Venables. You lose the recruiting class. You set yourself back 4 or 5 more years. Now, next year in 2025, when we get our guys back, we're still where we're at right now. I will agree with you, and I feel like that's fair. I don't understand why that's not the take.
And besides, yeah.
Again, people were saying we would win 6 games this year with our guys.
Yeah.
That was actual ESPN analysts, people that make a lot more money than we do to understand and watch this game, saying that we would win 6 games this year. Not in the SEC, 6 games total. That we would go 6-6 or 6-7, like whatever it is. I can't do the math right now because I'm frustrated. I got espresso in my body.
Hold on. Besides all that, on top of it, the only logical take you could have is that he's a good coach when he has his roster. Hold on, don't have it yet. Because we've seen one season where he doesn't have 2022, the first season he's there. He's basically just trying to get enough guys on the roster to fill the team. That's a wash to me. Anyone that would sit there and act like any coach in history, Nick Saban out of Alabama would not have portaled his way into a good team that year. So that's irrelevant to me. Second year, he's healthy. We're finally good. We have 2 bad losses. One of them is out without Denny Sussman at OSU. The other one, the second half, he's not playing in a weird game in which the first half got delayed by an hour and a half because of a storm that moved through after we were already moving the ball on them against Kansas. We lose 3 games that year. The bowl game, whatever.
People are sitting out.
We had 1 year in which we actually have our team and win 10 games, and we look like we're pretty damn good. Then this year we go out and we lose 9 guys, and people were like, "Venables just isn't the dude." I just don't understand how that is a. I just don't get how that can be the opinion. Like 6-6, cool. Yeah, that's a pretty good second string, third, fourth string team in the SEC.
When we were predicted to have that anyway, but with our first stringers. So hey, our 4th string is good enough for 6-6. And
I'm glad a guy that I have on our spaces a lot, or the guy that's on our spaces, RX, says this a lot. If you got your scout for OU, you better got it this year. Because I'm telling you, next year if we don't have the same crap that's going on, if we get whoever is incompetent at our medical staff to come back and actually be able to recoup guys, we're going to be a problem. Because we have almost everyone but maybe 2 guys on our offense coming back, 3. We're going to lose. You'll lose Spencer Brown. You'll lose. Who else will you lose? You'll lose Spencer Brown. I'm so angry about our offense. I can't even think right now. Spencer Brown. You'll lose.
I know. I'm blanking too. I'm talking about offensively.
Gosh dang it. Who do we lose? I don't know if Hester will leave or what. I know you don't lose a lot. I know on defense you'll lose. I think Everett comes back.
Then?
Hatchett might be gone, yeah.
But he has a medical redshirt. Sure, he's
I don't know. But anyways, I know on our defense you're only going to lose Ethan Downs, you're going to lose Billy Bowen, you're going to lose Stutzman, which are all big replacements, but I think we have enough talent to replace those. We replace those. And I think that, so on offense, if you can come back healthy and all those guys stay, which they may not, I don't know. If they don't, then it is what it is. You got to deal with that. But if they stay, you're going to have probably the most talent you got of any team in the SEC at that position. And I hope Jackson has I hope he stays. Again, I don't know. I know a lot of people look at, what Arbuckle has going on at Washington State and thinks that I hope it translates like that. I really do. I'm not big on looking at quarterbacks that are playing in conferences that aren't comparable with defensive lines that we face on a week in, week out basis and think that they're going to transfer. Well, people forget that every great quarterback Oklahoma's had, they've had NFL guys multiple on their offensive line. We might have that right now, but they're young. I don't know if we do or don't. But it's unfair to act like we should. I mean, half our starters are injured. Jake Taylor was a guy that every college in the country wanted. It was a huge recruiting win for being able to get that guy. And I just don't. I think we're in a lot of trouble if Jackson or Michael Hawkins leaves. And I think a lot of OU fans are reactionary and want him to go. I think that those same fans were the ones that wanted Dylan Gabriel to go and that were screaming to the rafters to have Jackson Arnold come in at quarterback last year. And while I was the one, and yes, me, and I will give myself all the credit in the world, and I'm usually not that kind of guy, but right now I will. And I was sitting there saying on every space I had that Dylan Gabriel is an elite, and I will say it one more time, ELITE, elite college quarterback. He is very good. And I had all these OU fans sit there and tell me, he's not that good, Chad. The downfield arm strength, I'm like, guys, he's averaging 35 a game. I think that's pretty good. Guys, he's sitting there dicing up Texas in the crunch time of a game in which he can't make one mistake or we're going to lose. Pretty good. He's set there by every college coach in America talking about how he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, except our brilliant OU fans. They do nothing but sit there and yell for Jackson Arnold all year. Jackson gets in. I thought he was played fine in the bowl game. He had a couple bad breaks. It is what it is. Then he loses his offensive line and all those receivers he trained with every year. And everyone's like, well, Jackson isn't the guy. Buddy, no one would be the guy if you lost all that. So I have no idea what you want. People like Jackson isn't the dude. Okay, who else? Who's the guy then? Who are you going to bring in?
And then Hawkins went in and
made true freshman mistakes.
Yeah, he's great. And then he made true freshman mistakes. What again? Well, he's not any good. Then it was put Casey Thompson in.
You got people that think that. Listen, coaches, believe it or not, they make, and I know it's hard to prove right now because of Joe John Finley and Bauer Sharp, but usually they make their money by playing the best players and getting them the ball. And again, I hate just bashing on Bauer. It's not that it's not just him, but just like the positions he gets put in. It's not that even it's him. It's like she's saying, it's the fact that he is so obviously favored by the scheme of our offense.
And it doesn't.
In a way that just doesn't seem to come off to anyone watching the game that makes any sort of logical sense. And, it's the same people going, oh, you're going to talk scheme about. No, I'm not. All I can say is, look, I don't have to be a weatherman to walk outside and say it's windy either. I can see things that are obvious and then be like, why are we doing that thing? And think, hey, we probably shouldn't do it. If I don't think we should be having Stewart block on the edge, one of the best defensive rushers the SEC will ever see, as a true freshman already. And Stewart, some of this stuff is it's just unbelievable.
By the way, look how big this water is. It's bigger than my head.
Dude, I'm excited to hear my dad talk about it too. He's got. And I'm almost to the point. I don't know if I'd rather have Hawk or and I'll go to your comic, Kobe, in one sec. I hope Hawk does. I hope one of them do. I would like Jackson to say, if you lose both, we're gonna be in a tough spot.
You want to talk about wanting depth? You can't lose both.
Yeah, he is gun shy with happy feet. So would any quarterback be if they were getting killed the beginning of the year, and then they finally get a little bit of blocking, they just don't trust it. I mean, it's just.
Or you get blocking and nobody will get open or catch the ball consistently.
Why did we get up? One, you are getting. One of them was the first touchdown of the entire season, which is just heartbreaking. Eli Bowens played so good all year. He had good coverage on that one throw. I know someone was arguing about you didn't know. Listen, I know that person was probably Deion Sanders. He just had a bum ankle and couldn't make it in college football, I guess, or in high school. But he had good coverage on it. His just arm missed the ball. He tried to turn his head. He tried to get back.
Turned his head, saw the ball, saw that the ball was actually going to be shorter. Turned the other way when he saw it was going over his other shoulder. Swipes the ball. Crap happens, unfortunately. Sometimes you tip your hat.
On the second one, he just got beat on a double move, on a deep ball. I mean, it's just and Nussmeier threw the ball well. I don't know, and for whatever reason.
The holding was egregious. It was so frustrating. I don't always see it. I mean, I feel like I'm getting better because I'm looking for it more. But when I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, that's so bad. It's freaking bad. Like, it's just, thank you, Jason, yes.
It's just good. Yeah, you're going to get beat like that.
It's just going to happen. And
guys, I know y'all don't know this, but even Deion Sanders got mossed. Even Deion Sanders got beat on routes. Even Deion Sanders bit on double moves. I can show you Just like I know a lot of people forget that Michael Jordan never lost a game and got swept in the first round, in the finals multiple times, or in the playoffs multiple times. I could show you clips of it happening. Deion Sanders got sunned all the time. It's the NFL. But I know, but all you see are the highlights and all the people that write stories, so you think every corner, it is the hardest position in the history of football to play. Because you're going up against their best athletes and you're having to start going backwards. It is just...
Hey.
Well, I don't know who that is. That's not the Deion Sanders I'm talking about. He spells his name a little differently. But that's Dion. Yeah, that might be
that might be intentional.
I like the picture too. That's kind of cool.
Honestly, though, they said run game was fool's gold. They had X's number too. I mean,
that was bad. Yeah.
But also, the O line. Yeah, O line wasn't playing like the bull. But when you're like, hey, this kid's pretty good. They're gonna make you beat by throwing. They're gonna make you beat by throwing. Like, so what are they going to do? They're going to do anything necessary to stop the run game. They're going to stop X, and they did, man. And
Randy's a coach, guys. He knows what he's talking about. He and my dad have some great conversations in our spaces about just kind of the kind of just the ins and outs of the game. And it's not even, and he would tell you this, it's not even that like this OL room we might have great linemen right now. It's just I feel like I'm a broken record repeating. Not Harry. Hope you have a good one, man. It's just you keep having this kind of stuff repeatedly, and you're just not going to do anything. You're not going to be successful. And I'm like, give me a break.
Your name is in Bama or UJ. You aren't going to get the calls you want. That was a comment.
Or Texas. Texas, I think, is perfect on reviews or reviews against them. The reverse or affirm.
Yeah, throw some trash on them. We should have been throwing trash. Dang it! But I mean, I really can't say anything with Bama last week. They got pretty hosed on a call.
That's another thing. NIL. You want to have a deep NIL? Just deep dive real quick. We better. If we have, I think we have the most staffed compliance department in SEC. Mom, you're gonna hate me for this. Fire all of them except for 2. And by the way, I'll be one of those attorneys if I have to be, and I will look for the ways we're doing things right. Because right now we're playing the NIL game, trying to find out what we're doing wrong. When every other team is sitting there saying, tell me what I for sure can't do.
We're self-reporting text messages.
We're trying to be these angels in a game with just people that don't care about playing.
We're not saying
rules.
cheat.
And I'm not. She's not. I'm saying if you can get away with it, you care. Then care.
Toe the line.
Toe the line. Toe the line right past cheating, and then make sure you don't get caught for it. And if you do, blame someone else. Win games. I'm there to win games. People were mad at me wanting Urban Meyer whenever we had a vacancy. He's won a national championship at every college he's been to. Sure, we would have had probably some. Well, I won't make that joke.
Stop.
We would have probably given back some championships in the future, a few years. But the next 5 would have been fantastic.
He's a little hyperbolic, if you can't tell.
I don't know. I'm ready to just let it ride. You got to do something.
Actually, I don't think they are.
Well,
but
NIL has deep pockets.
But I mean, SMU, it's deep down there. Yeah, but I think it's Ohio State and Texas and A&M that are really up there. That's not the point.
Chad, did you call the tight end? Yeah,
I called it stupid.
Right after I called my therapist to make sure I wasn't hallucinating and I wasn't just living in a depressive state in which I repeated the same nightmare every second of my life. What? First off, why are you laying down?
Yes, that's what we said too.
This isn't the beach. Get your offensive lineman off their stomach. Dog, you look like you have them doing tummy time as a baby. Get them up. What are we doing? That's what I'm talking about. Don't have to. Hey, but Chad, you don't know scheme. You weren't a Division I coach. Never mind. All-state quarterback could do it, coach the position, whatever. I know not to put my linemen on their belly buttons, have them tummy time, making sure their necks are growing strong and hard, so they can lift their head up when they're older. Get them off. It's just,
let them do what they're actually there to do. We were talking about this, Paul, on the way back. I said, Chad, you want to know what the biggest game changer was?
She did.
That return. And I straight up said in the first pod, they're not afraid to do that. You have to get stops. That was the momentum change.
Dad, tell Mom I love her, and I'm sorry I'm getting wound up. I can hear her right now at the house.
Chad Preston.
Oh my gosh.
100%. I'm trying, Kim. I'm nudging. I'm nudging. I'm nudging. I'm giving the finger tap.
I've caught myself a few times. This is true. It's so true. You just, Eli Bowen, they're going to be fantastic. They're going to be great. They're young. They're going to be fine. It just sucks, And look at this comment. Go. I don't like how you spelled go. You're a Tigers fan. That's just
okay.
Terrible. I thought it was a funny joke. I'm getting worked up.
I'm just like, I hope not.
Yeah, you know.
We've
it's
had
like,
this talk, okay?
You know what it looked like? It looked like one of those like drills. Where you know when you used to jump over the guy and the other guy would roll underneath you, and you would do it like in 2-a-days. It's like we did that, but everyone just stayed on their stomach instead of jumping over the next guy.
When you were a kid and you like rolled down a hill.
Yeah, or whenever you just wanted to, you know, do something stupid and you laid down and I just don't even know how to.
We're doing yoga poses.
It's like when you're a baby or a kid and you try to fake like you're Superman and you lay on your belly and say you're flying. I don't have any idea. It's just.
I don't get it.
To put 3. It shocks the mind. It reminded me of remember whenever the Indiana Colts like years ago tried to do that fake field goal, and they put like the center and the quarterback, and then so I think it was they were playing the Texans or whoever. They just had like every defender rush that guy and they sacked him for like negative 10 yards because he couldn't even get a 3-step drop in. It's like obviously that was going to happen.
I don't remember that.
And I went because it was before this game, the dumbest thing I'd ever seen in my life in a football game. But now that might have been overtaken because we had 3 of our guys like about to go belly flop into the beach or down a water slide.
Here's the thing, Stacy. We won't have to play as many young guys. But those guys playing this year, those young guys, will add to the depth for next year.
Stacey's right.
Because they played a whole season for when they weren't supposed to. I mean, you're right. I'm just saying, when you get your guys back, those young guys now go back to where they're supposed to do, and they can truly develop versus, trial by fire.
Mm-hmm. And I hate, like, it's just, and it's so unfair to be putting them, like, in this position where they have to play, like, they're seasoned veterans as, like, young true
against
freshmen.
seasoned veterans.
Yeah, against like, grown men.
the best defenses in college football.
Yep. And we're just doing it every day. I mean, we're just, every week we're rolling. And that you finally get something rolling with Alabama, you get big turnovers. Jaden Milroe just plays like mildew. It's just, and we, for whatever reason, come to LSU and we're just not, again, like that's all I would be running until they proved they could stop it. And you're just like, And
I said in our pregame, I said, I hope we didn't use all of our energy and all our momentum last week. I hope we still come out on fire. But to counter that, this is LSU's senior night. This is their final home game. And that's going to be an extra added layer of energy. So it just...
so you get it. I'm just...
Oh, Stacy, I see your comment. I wasn't trying to, I wasn't meaning to, insult you. I was just saying, adds to our depth.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to, necessarily argue.
No, yeah.
But... Just know.
And I can imagine, if you're the former players and stuff watching, especially when y'all were when y'all were as good as y'all were back then. It's just I hate seeing a team especially a program like Oklahoma who should be not having to deal with the injuries they're dealing with and with the lack of whatever is going on in our medical staff. And there better be some great reporting on what happened, and there better be. I hope there were some discussions, deep ones, about what we were doing wrong or right, by whoever is the liaison between the coaching staff and our players and whatever the rehab director is telling them to do. Because my goodness, your record isn't looking great at all, especially not now. I don't know. LSU is voodoo dolling their way out of injuries. Find some.
That Tiger fan that commented. What do y'all do?
Find some. Go to LSU, figure out what they do with the dolls, and do it to our players. We need them back.
With the sage.
Yeah, put bones in a bag and shake it over their injuries. I don't care. Go to Africa, go figure out what they do. I don't care what you got to do. Figure it out, though. Because I'm tired of us getting injured, and we can't ever have anyone come back.
Voodoo comes from Haiti.
Voodoo's from Haiti. Yeah, I was just saying,
Where does voodoo come
from? I know that it's big in Louisiana. But
I know, but where does it originate?
I don't know. I'll tell you where it doesn't originate is Oklahoma's medical room, because Lord knows they can't.
Hey, what do they use in the NFL? Those shots that you just give people, is that legal in the
NCAA?
NCAA?
The problem is I don't know if our medical staff can spell it correctly and to get the order in. I question all of it. I just.
Oh my gosh.
That's gonna come back to bite me, I bet. I'm so sorry.
But seriously, is it legal in NCAA?
I just can't. Here's the thing. Find out.
Yeah, we know Zion Kearney got injured too. Add that. What is that? What are we at?
I think we're 9 of the 16 guys we have on our roster, including, and that includes practice squad players. That is all players listed on our roster. I looked it up before this stream because I just wanted to just engage in self-hatred more. It is morphine. They'd probably spell it Morfine. They'd forget it's PH. It's Toradol. That stuff is legit. I need it for sometimes I need it for my hip after I golf around and I haven't played in a couple months. But it's. See. Here's the thing.
Yeah, but Xavier Robb went out. Like, we're gonna have nobody available for the bowl game. Like, I
don't know if they dude, 1.1 million. And here's the thing.
With strength and conditioning, though, that's where I can understand that to an extent, but why is it only our offense?
Yeah.
You would think if it's strength and conditioning, your defense would be down like flies too. It's literally just our offensive players. So, why aren't they being healed? How are they I don't know. We're not doctors, so we're not PAs. We're not PTs. We're not nurses, but.
Well, here's one. We're not stupid, and for some reason, we're the only team in the world that cannot heal anybody. I'm not asking for like a sensu bean where you take a pill and you're 100%. See, that's the thing off Dragon Ball Z. You take it. It's from the Piccolo's planet of Namek, and you would take the bean and you would eat it, and then you would be fully healthy, and Goku would use it to be free. Anyways, I'm not saying you need that.
Nussmeier is Jekyll and Hyde. He can look like the best quarterback in the country, and then he can look like.
I think that Jenna got my joke.
I'm not. He can look not great. He can look like. Nope, not going to say it. Sorry, not going to say it. But he cannot look great. Great game today. Again, like Chad said, looked like he broke his freaking collarbone. Get some sage. Some sage and some chants over him. Comes back out past some mystical voodoo game. Good for him, though. Honestly, good for him. But. What in the...
I don't know what you got to do. I'm native. I know that we put some work in the healing tents. We got to get them on the sideline and do dance. I don't know what. I'm go down
Hispanic. Give him a shot of tequila. Let him not feel anything. Get back out there.
In like a literal shot. I want a syringe and everything. Like but what is it? Remember? I don't. Yeah. I mean, that's true. I just. Man, I just hate it for.
I just hate it. I just, again, people want to say they're holding out. Maybe. I don't know what's going on in their head. I just don't think that from what I'm hearing from some of my friends, if you will. They're wanting to get back out there. To me, what proved it the most was Dion and Jalil coming back and playing in Missouri. They did not have to. If they were truly holding out, why play in that? You're just going to get bowl eligible. Like, there was no need for them to come back. And if they were truly sitting out and that was the mindset of the wide receivers, I don't think they played. There was no point for them to come back at that point. There was no do or die-ness besides a bowl game. Yes, he is. He does that. Our dog is named after a Dragon Ball Z character, okay?
Well, okay. Well, yeah, I don't know where I was going.
It was a deal. If I got a puppy, he got to name it. So
it's just I'm just nuts pulled apart. Yeah. It reminded me of the game in the finals where Matthew Dellavedova for the Cavs went off for like 30 points. And you're just like, where's this been all year? Well, he found a shot. I mean, the dude looked like prime Joe Burrow at LSU after he apparently broke his collarbone. I sit there and saw the hit. I'm like, that's BYU 2009 Sam Bradford. He was at the game. Yeah. Jerry World. My heart broke that day. Be still my heart, the whole thing.
That is a moment that just sit in my head.
Rent free for the rest of my life. I'll never forget it. But Nussmeier has it happened to him. Granted, obviously he didn't break his collarbone. I know that. I don't think he really broke his collarbone and all that. But he comes out where he can barely hold his arm up. But he comes out. I don't know. Y'all heard me say it. Rookie of the year. Y'all seen the movie? Dude falls, cracks his arm, throws it 99 to 106 miles an hour afterwards. Apparently that's what happened to him. Figure it out.
I'm going to check my notes. We've talked about it a lot. Let me see. Got that. Got that.
It's just.
Yeah, no.
It just sucks for our team and for everyone involved because it's like you're fighting with an arm behind your back and the arm you have is like a torn bicep on it.
You're fighting with an arm behind your back and your ACL torn.
Yeah, and it's just so frustrating to have to. Henry Rowan Gardner, yes, Meese, that is his name. Rowan Gardner. Remember the guy, hot ice. That's what we need. We need hot ice. You heat up the ice cubes, and it's the perfect way to heal an injured. There's Welch.
Hi, bestie.
There's Bauer Sharp. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Bauer Sharp, man.
I really hope those guys are on
social media.
I really do hope with medical staff wise that there is either a clean out, or we get somebody in charge that, yes, thank you. Or we get somebody in that can lead them.
Yeah, the player culture is different. It just is. I mean, we said it a million times. That's why Saban got out, because what's his wife's name? Miss Terry. She would have every year. She would have a dinner with the recruits' moms who were signing, and they would always talk about. It used to be, what are you gonna do for my son? Develop him, make him a man, develop him into a good stand-up person. Now it's how much you pay him.
How to make him a better player to get to the NFL.
Yeah.
And now it's how much can you pay me? Or pay him.
And Miss Terry looked at Saban and goes, "What are we doing? We got in not to do this." And Stan again.
And that's why he was worried.
I've said this a million times. The NIL will be the reason why eventually college football is not as popular as it is. Because what makes college football popular is that it was never about the money. It was about wanting to play for the team. Yes. And by the way, I'm not going to let.
We'll talk about that in the offseason.
I'm just thoughts on OC choices. Arbuckle, if the Utah rumors are false. Craddock.
We're going to probably find out tomorrow or Monday who our OC is. So.
Guys, I will say this, and I've said it multiple times. For me, it's not irrelevant. Obviously, you need a good OC for recruiting and all that. And until you can promise me that half his starters won't be injured and missing the whole year, I'm so jaded by that now. It's almost like until I can figure out, I know what went on there, I don't care if you can promise me. I don't know who. Kyle Shanahan from the NFL is going to come down and be our OC next. Tony Romo apparently will take a pay cut. I don't know. Whoever. It doesn't matter if you're not going to have their players ready. Now, assuming all that's healthy and you're good to go. Man. Arbuckle will be a good pick. I love Georgia Tech, what they do on offense, but I think would work really well, especially when you have a quarterback like either Arnold or Hawkins who can run like they can. And I think Hawkins can, he'll develop into a thrower. A lot of that is just, he didn't get a good chance to really, build himself up in the game like you see an Arch Manning get to do this year, where he is just kind of coming in certain moments and behind an offensive line that has that he can lean on, and he doesn't have to carry the weight of the whole offensive side of the ball on his own shoulders. He can kind of just do his thing. If we can get that, then I think either one of them will be good. But Arbuckle will be solid. I like what he runs. I like the 50-50 balanced attack that you see Georgia Tech have. And
somebody
on one of I'm not sure. What position do you think we need in the portal? Medical trainer, head of recovery. Anything that has to do with a body type being healed. Seriously though, you're going to have to get two. I think you're going to go try to get Caden Wooler being out. Obviously, was a big deal. PJ was playing with a bum ankle. If you didn't know that, he's been hurt. I guess that's another one that's kind of been hurt the last few weeks. He didn't play against Alabama, I don't think at all. If not, maybe just a snap here or there. But Caden Wooler being out, man, he's a dog. He plays hard. And is a big body guy that's athletic, that really gives you a good spell for those guys. And not having him was a big loss. So I think you're going to try to get a couple pass rushers, a defensive tackle, nose guard if you can. Offensive line, yes. The thing with offensive line is you're going to have so many guys coming back, and I'm not sure.
And you have guys waiting in the wings.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what you. Because you have to balance NIL dollars. And I'm not sure what you say. Look, you can say spend it all on offensive linemen. Cool. But remember, the best offensive linemen typically aren't in the portal. They're being held by their own colleges. So they're increasing their NIL dollars as well. Either doing a match for match and then an extra addition on top of that, or they're just being able to offer, after that initial offer, we give more than we can. So it's there are issues of, or there are considerations, I should say issues, of what you really think you need to get. If you think you have the guys on the offensive line, and Bill Bedenbaugh thinks with another year of development with those guys, he can make them even better, which really is how Bill develops his offensive lines. He's not a portal guy. Yeah. He's a guy that takes them when they're freshmen and develops them and works on technique and all that, and usually has a couple NFL guys each offensive line. Each offensive line iteration that he has as an offensive line coach. So if you got...
I want another quarterback just because I know that we're going to lose one.
Yeah, you're going to have to, quarterback. So, now, if you get...
quarterback. Now, I hope, in many ways we don't, but I'd like to see another tight end if we're going to,
Yep.
Because I want to see Caden Helms out there more. And the other two tight ends we played this year, not impressed with, so I'd like to have somebody behind Caden.
Well, you got Mitchell that'll be there next year. Donovan Mitchell will be back.
Sorry. I'm talking about
portal. You're going to have both of them. You're going to have both of them coming back. And I just hope that... I think you have to go portal there. Offensive line, if you think you need another center, maybe, because I don't know if Hatch will be back. Gabe has mentioned Pierre Louis moving to center. I don't know if he even wants to do that or if that's even in the cards. If Gabe thinks he'd be great at that, then awesome. Obviously I'd trust in whatever he believes would be best for the offensive line too. But I just
Voice of Oklahoma.
Voice
of college
the
football,
Voice of College
Oklahoma.
Football, the Oklahoma channel. You should be able to go to T's Twitter page and it's linked.
I should have a link there too.
I guess we could post a link in the comments. I don't know.
I've done it
do that.
before a few times, but nobody really goes through comments.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Well.
Yeah,
I agree with starting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't think you can continue to roll out Sharp with what he's done this year.
Unless he, Now again, and this is where
I really hate saying so many negative things about what I'm sure is a great kid, but it's just the reality. Watch the games.
Well, and sometimes I don't know if
we have to have more than one running back. On the roster.
The thing is, but the thing is with the running back thing and is, the Sam Franklin number 20 was a big portal guy we picked up, and he hadn't had a chance to really shine much this year because we just haven't been consistent up front, and it's just making it difficult to really know what. This is also the big issue is that. What do we need to get in the portal? It's hard to know because what we have right now hasn't been able to show us what we need none of them are playing.
That's what I was sitting here thinking. I was like, defensively we're pretty stacked. I was like, offensively, to me, it's hard to choose besides the tight end position that has shown weakness in another quarterback because I think we're going to lose one or two. So that's what I was thinking because it's hard to know what we truly have.
It's like whenever your engine falls out of your car and your tires go flat and you're like, what do you think? We need new tires? And it's like, yeah, we could. We also need to fix the engine. We run out of gas. We don't have oil. Our tires are flat. It's like, yeah, we need new tires, but maybe they're fine, or I don't know. Maybe it's just we need to get an oil. I don't know, because it's just we're missing so much, and for me, it's just hard to really say we need this, that, or the other. But I think that is important that, you get a OC quickly for recruiting and so that he can see, because remember, one of the issues that we had Venable's first year is that he got in so late that Levy and them when they were hired didn't have a lot of time to see really what was on the staff or on the roster until that second portal opening came out in the spring. And so I think getting a guy here now who knows what he needs and kind of knows what players fit his scheme and is very comfortable with it, a guy like Arbuckle who has been successful with Cam Ward there, and I was skeptical of that after 1 year, but
I think he transfers. Jason Meesh talking about Caleb Hicks. I think he transfer Porter's out.
I was hoping to.
I think he'll leave.
Yeah, I think he'll leave. I think he's gone. I think that Petaway's gone.
Someone was talking about DeMarco in the comments. I agree. I haven't understood a lot of his rotations. I
haven't either. I just
again,
don't.
Who am I to tell DeMarco Murray about running back?
I just believe in this crazy thing.
My fourth grade skills out there.
Playing the best player you have, and that's a novel thought apparently right now on for some of the but it's just.
Also,
God.
if you all want to follow
his
lead, you can like our videos, subscribe to us. We're still new to this, so we haven't gotten the hang of like and subscribe that you've seen a lot.
I just don't know if I'll ever be able to say that. We're not naturally we're trying to be better at that, so we'll try.
But thank you. Thank you.
Does it make you feel any better that Lincoln 6-6?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
Here's the thing.
I don't get excited when I see,
Here's the thing. If OU was undefeated...
I'm so glad you talked. I was about to say something stupid.
I felt it coming. I really don't care beyond OU.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Another team being bad, it might make me feel a little bit better. But at the end of the day, if OU's not doing well, I really don't care. That's just kind of where I'm at. I mean, had Texas lost tonight, I might have felt a smidge better. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be mad because OU's not well. But I will say there was somebody on Twitter or on X, some college football account did say, oh, Lincoln Riley continues to trend downwards in later years, as if OU fans didn't say that when he was here, but I digress. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Right,
I think Hicks will leave.
You really think you can turn around, make quick reads, pass him under back?
I mean, we saw it
Look,
with Bama.
This is the only time I'll ever talk about my accolades of the position. I was pretty good in high school, like millions of people were. Coached it like at the beginner level or whatever, and I've done basic things like that. I could have walked on at Oklahoma, done a gray shirt thing, done the whole deal, right? Was never good enough to actually ever step on the field. I'm not trying to make that argument. I'm just saying I know a little more than the basics.
He knows more than me.
What you have to understand at quarterback is the most important thing for a quarterback isn't receivers really. It's your offensive lineman, and then really probably it's your tight end. It builds from the inside out. When you trust your offensive line. And remember, the offensive line he worked in the spring with, he worked in the summer workouts with, that he was developing connection with and chemistry with, that he worked in fall camp with. All of them were out by the time the season started. So now all that work you put in the entire season is all gone for the offensive. That's just your offensive line. Now think of it as receivers. As receivers, the most important thing you can have between a quarterback and receiver is chemistry. Marvin Harris and Peyton Manning would talk about when they would get towards the goal line, they didn't even call plays. They would just be able to eye each other, and based on defender alignment, they would know what route they wanted to run. Marvin Harrison said 2 times in his career he can remember he ran the wrong route, another route that Peyton Manning didn't want him to run. You have to say a lot of that develops, not a lot of it. All of it develops in the prep leading up to the season. So you had Jackson Arnold with a stack of receivers, 5 of which 6, 7 deep. You had him comfortable with the 4 starters he would have, and then the rotation guys. All that develops both trust in the receiver and timing on the routes that you throw. It also develops trust in that they will be able to get open, so you know that you actually have the option available. So you have those guys all in the spring. Those same guys he's working out with all summer. He's developing relationships with, hanging out with, trying to get closer with as teammates. Which just knowing people better. Obviously, we all know that when you relate to people better, you perform better. So that he has those guys all summer. All spring ball, he has those same guys. And by the end of the first game of the season, all of them are basically gone.
Dropping like flies.
They're all gone. So now those same dudes that you realize that he had developed relationships with and consistency with, now they're all gone. Now he has to look to true freshmen. And guys, he's played college football. He knows what true freshmen can typically do. It's not like it's not in the back of his mind like, yeah, look, I know we all need to be, we need to perform here. You're trying to fight, you're trying to fight without all of your weapons available, and it's just impossible to do. It's like you're trying to win a shootout against, a 50 cal with a BB gun at some point, and you just can't do this kind of stuff. And so now all those players are gone. On top of that, his offensive line at the beginning of the year, especially, was like what a sieve or whatever it is trying to catch water, or oh god, what do you call it? The thing you use to like get fine.
It's a sieve.
Yeah, sieve.
With
yeah.
flour.
Yeah.
I hate that as a woman. I knew what that was.
Yeah.
Cool. Great.
Joke passing that one up too. Anyways, there are so that all that's gone. But it's seriously though, and so like I think if you can literally just get those guys back healthy, I just don't want to give up on him because he has the talent is there. And what's funny is you saw his chemistry with JJ, 88, develop whenever
88. JJ's 13.
No, Jacob Jordan. I always say his name backwards.
Oh. Well, you can't say JJ. We have JJ Hester.
Jordan Jacob.
Jacob Jordan.
I say Hester. Jacob Jordan.
Yes.
Jacob Jordan developed whenever he has literally, whenever Hawkins came in, Arnold goes to the second string, finds his chemistry with Jacob Jordan. Jacob Jordan, right?
Forget it.
It's Jacob Jordan. Why can't I say his name? I just unbelievable. Anyways.
Like Michael Jordan.
You see, okay, Jacob Jordan. There you go. So he's overrated. But anyways, so Jacob Jordan develops whenever he's practicing with the second team. And we see how that develops just in the few short weeks you have with him, and then you see what the production has been like on the field. Imagine if you had that with every other guy. I've said this multiple times. I said this to my dad all the time every game. Imagine how excited we were whenever we got... Go ahead.
That Chad tried to figure out how to say Jacob Jordan.
Dude, I'm so flustered.
Oh my goodness. But
at the
end of the day, that was a lot of words to say.
If we get a director of player recovery or whatever,
there's a lot of words to say when you have the talent but you don't have the protection. Okay, that's all the word to say. You got a big, pretty, fancy house. Your foundation sucks. Your house is going down. You got a big, fancy quarterback. Your protection sucks. It's not going to look like a big, fancy quarterback.
You know what else would suck? If you called someone to help fix that house and they had no idea what they were doing. Like our medical staff apparently has no idea what they're doing.
Take a breath. Yeah, take a breath, Chad. Take a breath.
I need to take a lap. I need to take who apparently leads our recovery team out.
Chad apparently just needs to go to medical school and then go join the medical staff.
Yeah, that's the thing. I couldn't tell you where a tibia, a fibia, any of that. But I can tell you one thing. We have 25 guys out. It looks like the Declaration of Independence signature page. And Alabama has 3. Texas has 2. Alabama has 3. One of them's Cole Adams, God bless his soul, from Owasso in Oklahoma. I was so shocked by that because I recognized the name. It is utterly inexcusable. And it's just you're getting slapped with it every time the report comes out.
Getting slapped. And also, the report's so long, we're forgetting to put players on it. The report's so long that we just omit people's names. We, forgot Anderson or both the Andersons one week, and everybody's like, correction, they will not be playing. And then we forgot Brennan Thompson and Javonte Barnes this week. They didn't play. Just stop getting my hopes up. Tell me they're going to be out. Because I literally looked at Chad, I was like, great, we'll have them back. And then I'm watching the game like, never mind.
German 3 have been holding their breath all year. I hope. I'll believe it when I see it. Granted, it's real easy for me to sit up here and rail on people. I have no relationship with them, and those guys are actually beat writers for the team, so they have to actually develop relationships and keep them. So, obviously, I'm not really thinking they're going to, nor would I expect them to. That'd be unprofessional, and, But it's just like, man, some of that is just...
It's really
some
just
of it
truly
needs to really
asking
be
questions.
It really,
they might be doing everything right.
Yeah. And maybe you're that unlucky. Maybe
we're just unlucky. We want to address, we do not think they're faking it. We do not think our players are faking it. We don't think they're holding out. Because to us, they've proved otherwise. And from what I've heard from some people, that's not the case. From some people that are reliable sources, not the rumor mill. But and also from those same type of people, we're hearing that they have questions about the staff. So, but anyways, not the point. Ask them. Who do you want me to ask, Stacey? Anyways, so what bowl are we going to? I don't know. The bowling rink.
That may true. I'm interested to hear all of it. I need to know. Whatever's going on, I want to know as a fan, and especially if you're going to continue to ask fans to pitch in money, and to spend money on.
I think there needs
players,
to be a little more
transparency. There does, and I'm sorry. I hate to say that. And
we didn't even know what was wrong with Nick Anderson until. How many games?
I think it's one of the players. I think Venables just said it randomly in one of the Rudy's one of the Rudy shows.
Yeah.
I think he just kind of said he has a torn quad.
I just know for years, it felt like years. I know for weeks we were sitting there like, what is wrong with him? We're just hearing soft tissue. What does that mean? Like, what is the extent of it? Like, the lack of transparency for me in the era of NIL, when you are calling on fans to support financially, I feel like should have a little more transparency there. Yeah. But again, I'm glad Baby mentioned at some point in his frustration with the medical staff. I mean, we are too. We finally figured out what was wrong. Like, okay, yeah, it's torn. Great. It doesn't just have a cramp. Like, it's torn. That's awesome. And again, not that we thought that. I'm just saying in general, like, it was good to know what was happening. But I do think on top of the injuries, just having some transparency towards the fans. Again, I'm saying that like
I'm
we're
reading a
entitled
book right
to
now
something.
called The Causes of War by Jeffrey Blaney. Y'all see that? He goes through the reasons for war and how they end, basically from the 1700s to present day. What he didn't mention was watching the University of Oklahoma try to heal any player that they ever have injured, or the fact that we can't run a basic offensive scheme consistently, or if when we find one, we go away from it. That's what he didn't mention on that book. Now, I know T can't believe it. I can't believe it either, partly.
I don't understand why you say the things you say.
I'm just trying to give the people information. I'm just trying to let them know what I'm seeing. I'm just, some of this is just...
I think this is a defense mechanism, guys. He's so upset, he's defaulting to hyperbole and sarcasm.
I almost can't believe what I'm... Yeah, that's definitely true.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's just... I can handle losing... Well, I'm not going to act like I can handle... I'm always happy, but at least you understand...
There's a reason we haven't had a
game
night with friends in 2 years. He cannot.
No, those are stories. No, now listen. Here's the thing, and all the guys in this that are watching now will understand this. We have game nights. Admittedly, first few, maybe I got too competitive. I like to win. I don't think that's a crime in America. Apparently it is. Anyways, after the first couple,
Don't encourage him, Stacy.
See, I do it for the people, T. Do it for the people. Anyways,
Lord.
really, it's they would get mad and start calling us names, and we would say, "Ladies, I don't think that's fair to call us. You don't need to be attacking us
You've
personally."
never.
Then we would sit there and just sip our waters, as men tend to do when they get together, and we would just be calm. And we get, and so finally we had to quit having them because we were too calm and understanding. Getting tired of every year. Oh, trust me.
Oh, we get
Oh,
it.
Junior. I know Junior. By the way, I hope it's Junior,
Wait,
my friend Junior.
it does E with the junior. It's gotta be.
That's XR. Yeah, trust me.
Trust us. We are too.
Old fashioned. That's definitely our boy Junior. We are too. I am too. I'm tired of. Dude, I remember I talked to my dad once, and this is when we were in the middle of winning all these Big 12 titles, and I'm like, dude, I want national championships. I couldn't care less about another saying we won. TOT. I remember winning all those, and it's like we're 6th straight in the Big 12, and then we go get blasted in the playoff besides Georgia, and I'm like, yeah, I'm tired of it. I just want to win a championship, and that's why, like, even when Lincoln was here, and we were progressively getting worse. If we really look at the advanced statistics on him. I was like, I'm tired of. I'd rather just go a different way. We can't win this way.
Yeah, and winning season. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, a winning season is fun, but that we wanted more. But yeah, no, definitely tired of. There's always next year. Again, I'm about to say, I'm just to add salt in that wound. I truly think next year would be the year if we keep our guys. If our offensive players come back, I do think next year is your best chance. Now, should that go horribly, then I'm all on the fire everyone train. But I'm just not there. I've gone to the ladies' clinic, seen how much those players truly admire Brent Venables. So I think you do anything drastic now, you're just SOL. But to be totally fair, he's a sore loser. And I'm competitive too, but
listen,
thank you.
There's always softball. Valen,
I dare you.
I don't know.
Here's the thing. People say, like, there's always softball as if OU fans are out there supporting other sports. Like,
listen.
Just saying.
The rest of the SEC is, yeah.
I'm sure everybody is.
Yeah, but it really is true for us, though. Dude, it's like, and again, I genuinely am excited for our team.
I'm going to show this comment.
I genuinely am excited for our team. Unless if we continue to live, and it's like we're in the book of Exodus, and every plague has hit us. If we can't get out of this, whatever we're in, then it won't matter. But OU basketball is undefeated in non-conference again. Yeah.
The women laid an egg the last game, but they're very fun to watch. But the men, going at it. Women's gymnastics. But honestly, my heart broke more for women's gymnastics falling how they did in the semifinals of the national championship semifinals than I feel like any football team is hurt. I can't say that, but that hurt. So support other sports too.
This is 100% true.
I think we'll. For sure. I mean, portal season's opening. There's always a heartbreak. We talked about that on Monday. People are like, "Oh, I hope we don't lose." You're going to lose some people that you don't want to lose.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going to be it. We lost Taway Walker last year, which people were sad about. We lost Dylan Gabriel, which some people were sad about. Some people were celebrating. You should be sad about it, but not the point. There's always years you're going to lose people that you don't want to lose, and that's going to happen. You just hope the damage is minimal.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. You hope the damage is minimal. But no, I agree. Portal season's here, unfortunately, and we will be doing updates on that as it goes on.
I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna talk myself into a coma. I'm just.
That might.
It's disheartening in some ways. It's almost like the mirage of what it can be every year for Oklahoma, and then you get there and it's just. Swinging water. Dude, I need something. It's the only thing that I just need to feel like life right now. It's about the only thing I can do is drink water. It's just, I just need something to wash away my pain. I need to go to church. we need. What else can you say?
Look at it this way, guys. If the worst thing happening in your life right now is your college football team is not performing how you wanted it to, you have a pretty dang good life.
It's my medical staff not performing.
Stop it. If that's also one of your biggest problems and it's not your medical staff healing your ailments, then...
Yeah, she does. At a Waco Heba. Fight on my side a little bit. I don't even know if that's like a thing, but...
What, a girl can't be dehydrated and need water? My goodness.
Nope.
But if that's the worst thing that happens to you is your teams aren't very good, then you have a pretty good life. So...
This is so true, and I'm telling you, it is the thing that is going to kill college football. The thing that is going to kill it. Said it a million times. We've said it a million times, and I'm telling you, there will be a lot of people up here that are loving every second of NIL that'll be the same one saying, "Well, I always said there was no reason you had to do this." But you're going to have some sort of way to regulate it, or it's going to become.
And that's the thing. We're not against NIL. In theory, it was a good thing that they could get paid for signing autographs. They could be paid to do commercials. That they could be paid to sell T-shirts. That nobody disagrees with that. It's just the spending millions on players that becomes a problem. But again, we'll address that in the off season when we don't have other things to address.
It's just yeah. I don't know if I can continue to be this. It's like the end of Doc Holliday.
Yeah.
That episode. It's just.
Episode
in the movie when he's poor soul, he's just too high strung. When Johnny
to be fair,
Ringo's
guys,
just laying there on the
calm
ground.
down.
Oh, I'm calm compared to what I was
to start this stream. We felt bad because we met 2 new people and we sat with them, and when we started losing, we literally had to apologize and say we are so sorry that we are no longer fun, but this is just who we are. And again we heard some of the tables behind us like giggling and still laughing, having fun, and we're like, we just can't do it.
It's like the double.
They understood though.
It's like the double. It's like double because you're mad, but also you realize it's ridiculous for you to be that mad, and then it makes you even more angry at both yourself and other people and it's just a never-ending like funnel of despair in the middle of the Big Apple. And just you know what that is? I bet we're eating too many apples, and it's keeping the doctors away. All right, we need to go to sleep, T. We need to go to sleep.
I don't even know where you pull this stuff from.
We need to go to sleep. I don't know.
Oh my God.
When you are lonely and you just gotta find a way, I guess, to make yourself.
When you're lonely.
OU football has left me just feeling like I don't even know how to. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I just. We're sorry, guys. We couldn't give you anything, more concrete than that. Other than that,
It is what it is.
We yelled and screamed from New York City.
Right.
If
you are ever in New York,
much love to you, by the way, man. Sorry about that.
If you are ever in New York, though, and it's during an OU football season, Haswell Greens, look up the NYC Sooners. Join their watch parties. It was a lot of fun. They have merchandise you can buy. We enjoyed that. It was good. It was good. So if you're there, join them for sure.
Yeah, we'll have one for sure.
Emergency so when OSU is hired, we should, yeah. Any type of breaking news stuff, unless it's not shocking, a good way to put it, we'll be having one. Yes. That is my best friend in the entire world. She's definitely spent a mini game in minute with Chad, so this is the calm version.
I don't need it. There's just...
Which, to be fair for me, too, it probably is as well. I've gotten better, though, in the past
I'm speechless.
years. I think it's because we also said everything we need to say.
I'm an hour and a half in, and I feel like I have everything left to say, and I've said nothing at all.
Also, yes.
Yeah, that's assuming we can replace them. On the yeah.
Yeah, that's what we said. In the next 48 hours, we should be probably finding out. You would think. I mean, we found out pretty quickly.
What me said, 12:01. What if they hire an OC at like 1 a.m. our time? I swear I will get up just hopping like a bunny to the computer. I just don't know.
I'm not even tired. I might not be asleep.
I'm
saying that as someone who's always tired.
I'm going to go research who we have right now doing our medical therapy. So
God, stop.
I'm going to act like I have any idea what they're saying. But either or, I feel.
Here's the thing: they're going to end up hiring a new OC. We're going to be like in the middle of the American History Museum tomorrow, and be like, crap.
You know what needs to go in the middle of the American History Museum is our availability report this season, because it's not only long; it's longer than a CVS receipt. It's just. I'm like.
Why are you the way that you are?
Most people won't believe it.
It is. It's pretty freaking long.
It looks like the anaconda skins whenever they shed and you can roll them up and then they roll them out. They're like, look at this 27-footer right here. and it just rolls forever. You know, like when you drop a toilet paper and it just rolls across the room? That's our injury report. Every week. And I can't do it again. I'm not getting that worked up again. I just calm down a little bit. But anyways, that needs to go in there. I might ask them if they'll put it in there. They probably won't believe it's real.
Okay, Stacy.
But, you know.
It says, based on the post-game press conference, BB may know who we're hiring. But she hasn't watched it yet. I mean, I kind of think that anyway when we saw, Kevin Sperry flip his commitment, it made me think they knew who they were hiring and potentially what that would mean for the quarterback position.
Yeah.
But again, speculation. Who knows? Who knows? It's got to be a good one. It's got to be a good one.
And here's at the end of the day, I think the only
again, good OC, you got to have your pieces. Got to have good pieces too.
Yeah. Well, and also like the only part I take solace in is that Brent Venables is going to have to believe whoever he hires is the guy because he's hiring him basically to save his job. Because if they put this, you know, and again, injuries or not, you're not going to have another year. At some point, they're just going to want to cut ties and just start from scratch again. And you know, first off, yeah, I'm sure he did. Like, you know, they talk about this stuff behind the scenes. 100% I bet he knew that.
I just realized
it's especially it's just. We stopped and saw the memorial too. It was actually really impactful. It was pretty great.
Can confirm it's not Heupel.
Yeah, it's not Heupel. Hey, the Vols fans. The only reason I'm rooting for them is Heupel, and then also like the fans that came were pretty awesome. So that was pretty cool to see.
Told him they're moving on from him.
That's because the coaching staff told him. Yeah, and you may be doing that if you think a guy's coming in and all that.
That's where I go back to. They had to know somebody was probably transferring him. So it's like, hey, bro, this is where we're at with you. You can come if you want, but you're probably not going to see the field. I don't know if they said that, but just thought.
Thanks, Cohiba. Appreciate it. Yeah, click the like button.
Thank you.
Retweet.
Hopefully they bring in a good commercial. I'm just saying. I don't know. Again,
we'll see. But yeah, the only thing I take solace in
quarterback with pieces are missing. It's hard to know.
Is you know, Venables is going to have to trust whoever he brings in because he's hiring him for his job, and if he trusts him enough to bring him in, then you know I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But Junior, stop that.
Hey.
Junior's one of my best friends. I know him really well, so he's joking. Everybody. He's also.
But there is a button there if you.
First off, imagine a guy that would make up a nickname for himself the first day of work. I mean, that's who we're dealing with here with Junior. One of the best people ever.
Boo, Junior! Awesome. Yeah, boo!
There you go. Absolutely. Jordan O'Neal, yeah, true. Jane O'Neal, yeah. I said Jordan. I gotta get Jordan anything. Stop saying.
You almost messed up again. Is what was the best thing about you about to talk right there.
I can't believe I can't remember his name. It's just so frustrating. I get it.
Was there anything? Do we want to talk about any positives for the game? Just to end it on a positive note.
A lot of players tested positive for injuries before our game.
That's not positive. But fumble recovery.
R. Mason Thomas is a dude. The guy's a problem.
And the only way you can stop him is to hold them. He got the scoop, but who caused the fumble?
I believe it was Terry. Najon Terry.
Okay, yeah. So that was positive. JJ Hester, great catch. Again, he bobbles it. I don't understand his proclivity for wanting to give an extra when he catches it. But again, I've never had to catch a ball with players like wanting to kill me every time.
Something positive again, Danny.
Danny had 10 tackles.
Yeah, and
positive is just Danny. We love Danny. Positives. I think
that's why. I guess that's negative again because it's like I hate the way the season went for Danny and Billy and all them for staying like they didn't. But I think the positive is that you have someone who really set a standard and committed to it and didn't let himself fall short of that.
I would say this
even when we were struggling.
And also in an era of money, there was a player out there that showed love of the game, love of a university, love of his teammates, and gave his money away. You saw a different standard there, so that is a positive, and it's just thank you, Danny Stutzman. And Daddy Stutzman, that's weird to say. Yeah. I don't like that. Papa Top, Stutzman's dad. And you know, I hate myself for saying that.
Halton calls it fumble, but Thomas scoop it scored. Thank you for that.
But yes, thank you for raising a good human.
I didn't realize that. I was sprinting between pianos and drum sets trying to high five all the Sooner fans in excitement. So I didn't realize that. But yeah, he really is. Halton is probably the most. He's really, really good.
Yeah.
Other positives. I mean, there were a lot of positives. It's just hard for me to not think about certain things wrong with our teams right now that are just frustrating.
Jackson Arnold was shifty on the run.
Jackson looked fast when he cut upfield. He looked like he was moving.
Right.
That was.
He's been running well.
And one thing you can't question Jackson on is toughness. I mean, the dude takes hits. He plays well whenever he's able to run the ball, and
just not quitting when. It would have been easy to quit.
He never
Again,
quit,
he could have easily, like he said, like he told Venables, I don't want to come in trash time, I'll redshirt. But if you need me, I'm there. And he kept to his word, so.
Yep. And by the way, well, we'll say that for an idle talk, but another question is, if you redshirt, are people paying you, whatever X amount of money going to continue to want to pay you that? Or is it going to be a deal where you're going to play because I'm paying you X amount of money? And
again, that goes with
bar none, or
that goes with the provisions. The rules that need to be added. Is there penalties for people that don't play, don't produce? Hey, you don't get 10 touchdowns, you don't get all your money. And I hate it. I hate that would be stipulated, but at some point it's probably going to get there. It's wild out there right now, man.
I know what you meant. Yeah.
We knew you meant quit, Paul. You're good.
Junior, you're just the look at this. Look at this. Positives are the pain is now over.
Joke's on you. I don't have good Saturdays anyway. When there's not football, I'm angry.
You know the pain's not over for. Is the people injured right now for OU football. And there's a lot of them.
Just don't.
Oh, man. All right.
It's tough. But thank you guys for joining us.
Which QB is gone next year? I would love to have both, but everyone says...
we don't know.
I mean, yeah, again, I'd preface everything. This is just us assuming. From what they're saying, Jackson, they think if anyone were to leave, it'd be Jackson, I guess. I would want him to stay, but Hawkins.
I'd want both to stay and have a true quarterback coach for a full year.
Yeah, same. One that's developed, guys.
And a competent OC. But we don't know.
Yeah.
But again, our guess is Jackson would leave. Maybe Hawkins stays. But
down the water like a camel.
Yeah.
Just yeah, it's gonna be good to go. But funny enough, New York City has some of the best drinking water of any place in the world. They get their water from the Catskills. There's a great book called Mine on property law.
Tap water is what he's referring to.
Tap water, yeah, out of the sink. Great book called Mine. It's about property law, and they get water rights. They get it from the Catskill Mountains. It's pretty interesting.
Just random stuff.
Any stuff, yeah. It's pretty cool.
Oh.
See you guys. Much love. Love you, Junior. Thank you all for watching, man. We're gonna try to get some rest and have a pretty fun day tomorrow.
Yeah, fun day tomorrow. We will see you guys Monday. Man. We'll have another show then every Monday, 7 o'clock Central.
I hope I've calmed down by then.
I'm sure he'll find a way to work back up.
All right. We'll see y'all. Have a good one. Boomer.